no excuses in oneness. In oneness, you are a part of a whole. You are a part of this puzzle, a puzzle piece. And there is no continuation of that period, that dot at the end of that sentence. There are no excuses in oneness. There's a lot of people that are like, I am one with the universe, but then I am one with everything, except for Bill Gates. I am one with everything, except for Donald Trump, Joe Biden. I am one with everything, except me eating meat. I don't eat meat, and that's terrible. All of these exceptions to a very simple rule, a very simple nature of the universe. When you experience oneness, you will crave that feeling with all of your being for the rest of your life. When you feel that infinite connection to every single experience, every single person, place, or thing in the universe, you'll want nothing else. That's why spiritual gurus and monks journey to the mountains. They go to the most raw place in nature and they say, I just want to feel it all. I want to feel it all. Because as an empath, you feel samsara. You feel the suffering of life. And for anyone who wants to expose themselves to the reality, we are in 2020 and a lot of you are like trying to put on your rose-colored glasses, but they're broken. And you're seeing the shame and the poverty and the racism and the corruption and all this shit. And you're so desperately trying to put your head back into your ass or put your head back into the sand like an ostrich. But this is 2020. This is like the deadline. 2012 was like the wake-up call. 2020 is the deadline. The end of this year. If you're not facing reality, if you're not facing the oneness of it all, who knows what's going to happen? But you might get stuck in a pattern that you don't want to be in for the rest of your life. So embracing oneness, embracing Samadhi, is all about no excuses. No excuses. You can hate somebody and still be deeply immersed in the oneness with them. You can look your eyes straight into the enemy and say, we are one. Thank you for being the perfect adversary in this story we are playing out in this moment in time. So I'd like you all to ask yourself, whether you're deeply spiritual or you're more scientific, where are your illusory boundaries? Where are the places within your own consciousness whereas you perceive something that is not you? It could be evil. You could be like, I am not evil. It could be good. I am not good. Simplify into succinct, compartmentalized ideas. Where are you lacking in oneness? Where are you perceiving the world in a way that is not one? When you can identify the things that you feel that you are not one with, you will start healing the deeper aspects of your karma. It's funny when people talk about karmic healing, it's like, I don't know what type of karmic healing you've done, but when you see a murderous warlord general in the army and you go, I hate them, how could they drop bombs on places? Go back a few lifetimes. Go back a few lifetimes when you were that vicious warlord, mercilessly slicing through people in medieval times for some religious or empirical agenda. It's all you. We're all the predator and the prey. I had this really profound experience at about 8 years old where I was in the building next to the public library in which I spent a lot of time growing up. And on the wall, I saw for the first time a wanted poster of individuals who had been convicted of rape, murder, and pedophilia. And the amount of anger that swelled up in my heart for those people, I could have just strangled these people if I saw them. And I was in communion with Spirit, and I was going within, and I was asking, like, what is this feeling? Why am I so angry? How can I, here's the profound message. I said, how can I love somebody like that? I'm supposed to love all beings. I know that in my heart. How can I love somebody like that? How can I be in unconditional love with the world if that is happening? And I got the clearest message clear as day from Spirit. It said, you are both the predator and the prey. You are the tiger and the deer. You are the panther and the antelope. You are the lion and the gazelle. You are that. And I was like, it was a lot to handle for a young person, but I said, oh my goodness, I have to process that. That's going to take a while to process. And recently that memory has come back up because I'm in that state of oneness now. I could look myself in the eyes with somebody that I cannot agree with at all with their way of life and love them and genuinely love them. Not spend a lot of time with, not go out and drink coffee or kava or have tea with them on a regular basis, but to meet with them and be in connection with their soul or lack of it, their heart, and be like, I see you. I see your pain. I see your trauma. I see the reasons why you do what you do. And I'm here to let you know that there is a source of love beyond greater potentials of your mind. And in that space you can learn deeper levels of enlightening your own being. Even if you're not on a path of I want to be an enlightened teacher or spiritual presence in this world, just learning, as the Dalai Lama said, to establish more happiness and compassion internally, just so you could be better for the world around you. Even if there's hellfire and violence and gunshots going on in where you live or the world at large, if you can find that inner peace by establishing peace with those in which you thought you could have never made peace with, that's where we have Shanti. That's where we have divine peace. Because peace is not a one-sided goody two-shoes battle. It's not a one-sided evil dominator battle. Peace is in the middle. Peace is when you're in the middle and you could have the hero come face to face with the villain and have a chat about what they want to achieve in the world. And they might be similar. I highly recommend you watch Legend of Korra, which is the sequel to Avatar: The Last Airbender. It's a show that has a lot of deep spiritual karma in its writing and has a lot of martial arts, traditional martial arts philosophy, and it has fantastic, really fantastic villains, has fantastic heroes as well. But you watch this show and the villains are saying something, their idea for the world and their means of achieving it isn't necessarily wrong, but it's just extreme, very extreme. And they go into the whole Anan, they go into the whole kind of like freedom consciousness, obsessed with freedom, anarchy. In the villains, they go with total spiritual liberation as one of the villains' ideologies, and then unification, a unified collective world is one of the villain's ideas. So if you were just to say that in a politically correct way, you'd be like, oh yeah, I'm on board with that. I'm on board with that, and a lot of people were in the show. But then you go to deeper, and then there's violence and deception, and you go, whoa, hold up. Don't do any of that. To get the people unified, get them loving each other, get some more freedom, but don't take it to a level that you forget the oneness on both sides of light and dark, good and bad. Don't forget that you are that. You are that presence that you love. You are that presence that you hate. And everybody realizes that. You've gone through moments in time where you're like, I love myself. I'm feeling myself today. Whatever you're doing, whatever you're feeling, even if it's in the dream world, yeah, I'm feeling myself today. I love what I'm doing. I love where I'm at. And then you go through times where I fucking hate myself. What am I doing? What am I doing with my life? What the fuck? Then, both those moments are learning experiences. When you hit that rock bottom and go like, I fucking hate my life, I hate myself, then you're open to the greatest change. And when you hit your peak, when you hit that mountaintop, you're like, I feel enlightened, I feel like more blissed out and loving than ever before. Then you could take that down. You could meet in the middle and find this peace that comes with, I know I have room to improve, and I don't want to stay stagnant or stay where I have been in the past, which I don't like. That comes from that initial, so angry at myself. And then I also want to bring that heavenly glory, that top of the mountain energy to not just me, but to the people, to my heart, to the connection space. And that's where you find oneness. So no excuses in oneness. I'm like a old school Sifu. No excuses. You can't say like, I love everything and everybody, but then you don't, you know? So love everything and everybody to the greatest of your capability. And this is what Dalai Lama teaches. He says, compassion is limited, right? So we work with that. Mind is limited, so we work with that. They don't focus on very like profound, expansive things. They work with their compassion primarily, very first and foremost, to be in a space of total expansion of compassion, because you have only so much compassion, is what he teaches, what I've learned from him. You have compassion up until a certain point, and then that threshold, that is your comfort zone that you can break through and evolve from. I hope you all learned something from this and can take less and less excuses in life and embrace oneness.